Okay, now I want to continue the game between Alekhine and Poindle, played in Vienna in 1936. And Black had just played its 13th move of f5, which is practically forced. I don't think there really is another move on the board which can prevent checkmate or a devastating attack from White. And then on White's 14th move, White plays a knight to f6, giving check and forcing the black king out into the open, or more into the open. So flushing the king out. King steps to f7, and now the queen backs up to h4 because it had been, was being attacked by the bishop, and now the king was also attacking the knight. So the queen backs up, protects the knight. Now Black plays bishop to g7, attacking the knight for a second time, and notice that the White has really nowhere to run without getting captured. So White plays on its 16th move, bishop to g5, supporting the knight again. Then Black plays h6, hitting at the bishop. The bishop moves away, then Black will just win the knight. But now White plays queen to c4, check to the king. And my first gut reaction was to play a d5, but it doesn't work due to this fact. D5, and then if Black just plays d5, then White just snaps the pawn off. So now the knight, White will just take White will just take the pawn with the knight. And now, of course, Black doesn't want to play, the knight takes knight, because the White will just take the queen. And if Black takes the bishop, then we just take the knight. And if Black takes the knight with the queen, it's even worse. Then we just take the knight, giving check and winning the queen, and White wins the queen. So d5 doesn't work, and what Black actually plays, the only king move possible, is moving the king back to f8. And now Alekhine plays a move which I definitely didn't see right away. I call it maybe a pseudo-sacrifice, not really. White on its 18th move is going to take the knight, but what's going to happen is that basically White's going to get the queen and give up two pieces. So here's how it turns out. So White takes the knight, and then the queen takes back, and then White plays knight to h7, check, with an attack on the queen. So then Black takes the knight, and then on White's 20th move, bishop takes e7, check, and then king takes e7. So what we have is Black got a rook and a minor piece for a queen. And now the game, and what's going to happen now, though, is White's going to get this attack. So it exchanges some stuff off. The king is exposed, getting rid of some of the defenders. The White queen is out here, sort of in the board, attacking. Now White could win with the move of queen to g8, but White takes the pawn here to keep the queen in the sort of near the king, an attacking position, as I'll call it. Black takes the pawn on b2 and attacking the rook. The rook comes to a2, and the bishop has to retreat. And now White on its 23rd move will play c4, And the purpose behind c4 is to get the bishop, not the bishop, the rook, where it can come to the e file. The king goes to f7 to get off the e file, and the rook comes to the e file. Then black plays the rook back to h8, trying to get the rook back into the game. Now white's queen comes to d6, basically to stop the d pawn. Now it's sort of stuck there. Also the queen comes closer, threatening to infiltrate the position. So if you look at it, black's two pieces over here aren't really doing anything. And now black plays a5 with the idea of bringing the rook to a6, attacking the queen and getting the rook out somehow. And now white plays knight to c3. You'd say, well, hold on, that leaves the knight in take. Black can just take that knight, but if black decides to take the knight, then leads to checkmate for black. So if black takes, then check, rook over, check by the queen, discovered check, check, mate. So black cannot take the knight. So black plays rook to a6, attacking the queen. Queen backs up a square, giving check. And then the king's going to move. Black could also play the rook to e6. It's basically the same. I'm not going to go over that variation because it just basically leads into where we're going. The king steps over. And now the knight goes to the b5, and the knight is actually planning to come to d6, where we'll control this square, where hopefully that way the queen can infiltrate. Now the rook comes to e6, the knight comes to d6, and this rook comes to d8. The white king comes to f1, and actually black resigned in this position. There isn't too many good moves. Try to pick a move. Everything sort of goes downhill. What white is really threatening is a snap off the bishop. The rook takes, and then the queen will take this pawn with check, where it can pick up, either of the rooks. So black really has no good moves left, and black has no good moves left. So black resigned in this position. So that was a game between Alekhine and Poindle.